He's the man in the bandana, the man with the charm. He's a dude with the glasses and a lady on his arm. Mr. Electro, yo, Mr. E. Yo, Mr. Electro, yo, Mr. E. He's eloquent, he's sassy too, he's filled with lots of thoughts. He's friends with Mr. Rancho, hey, Mr. Rancho Fox. Yo, Mr. E. He's got a heart of gold, lots of pennies for his thoughts, and he's never short with a smile, and the girls like him a lot. He's the man with the infectious cackle, the man with the mic. He's one of a kind, he's great as can be. His name is Mr. E. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. He's the father of the webcam, the godfather of stick L. Yo, Mr. Electro, yo, Mr. E.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Yep. So we're gonna talk about just one thing. My thing is this. I want to hear somebody legitimately defend this man for possibly making this happen. Seriously. No lie. Gotta blame this guy for possibly making this happen. I'd like your thoughts. I put a poll up on there. I'd like for you guys to answer the poll. I want your honest opinions. Seriously, because this is basically the reality of it. No shit. This is basically the reality of the whole, Crawford Spence thing, and it's really. Buckwheat, what's up? Oh, that's the realistic picture of when Errol Spence and Bud Crawford are gonna fight. They're gonna be too old. You know, I personally think that that the Spence team is trying to age out Crawford. Now, look, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think I don't think Spence is afraid of Crawford. I think Spence wants to fight Crawford. I think Spence's team doesn't want Spence to fight Crawford. But then at the end of the day, the boxer's in control of his destiny. He can make the fight happen. If he wants that fight to happen, he can make that fight happen. You know, and he has not, in earnest, tried to make this fight happen. Overdose, what you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Overdose? Welcome to the channel. I know that this is kind of a shock to the system. You guys seeing me come up here like, twice in 1 week and stuff like that. why, why, why Spence look like a because that's how old they're gonna be. That's what they're gonna look like when they finally do fight. That's why. Come on, you gotta admit though that's a funny ass picture, man. That is a funny ass. But this is the reality of it, though. No joke. All joking aside, this is the reality of it. This is how the fight's gonna end up fucking looking. Two individuals that look like this before they actually get to see each other in the ring. Now, normally I wouldn't even talk about this because I was done. I was fed up with both of these fighters, you know, and I just said fucking both. I'm not gonna support either fighter. But lo and behold, recent the events have me leaning a certain direction. You know, I want to see these fights. I want to see these fighters fight, but god damn. let me welcome Bonquiqui, Tony Boswell, Overdose, Ralph Unreal in the room. Guys, thank you so much for coming in here. Virgil Ortiz is in the house. It's duck season. So, is Errol Spence ducking Bud Crawford? Because I'm going to tell you, in my honest opinion, it certainly looks like his team has no faith in his ability. They're both, I mean, this is about as evenly matched a fight you can get. And you have no faith in your fighter? You're going to use the excuse of we're not crossing the street? I mean, Crawford did everything he said he was going to do. They told him go get a belt. He got a belt, you know? And now, now Spence is going to fight out of his weight, out of his weight range, and he's going to go up instead of fight Spence. Now I know people are going to say because I brought this up. This question was brought up in Jedi's stream. Well, no one bitched about Canelo fighting Bivol, but guess what? Canelo cleaned house. Canelo cleaned house. He snatched up all the belts before he started dipping his feet in the fucking 175-pound range. Honestly. And that's the plain old truth. You know?
Do you want to go to Dubai, baby?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Seriously, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like. Hit the like button. I need all the help I can get. I'm trying to get to that thousand subscriber mark. Please, please just hit that like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. I don't usually talk about that, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back in with a vengeance. So let's talk about this. I want people to start. I want people to answer the poll. I want people to answer the poll and give me. And if somebody wants to get up here and defend Errol Spence, you're more than welcome to. But remember, all right, there's a couple of rules. Cal L in the house. What's up? How you doing, my brother from another mother? You know, the thing here is, you know, even though I said I was done with these two, because I was mad at Crawford too because of all the bullshit going on. But now there's no excuse. There's food up on the table, and Errol Spence Jr. is not eating his vegetables. He is not eating his vegetable. He left the fucking carrots. He left the boiled carrots and potatoes up there. All he's doing is chomping on the meat, and he's not doing a balanced diet. He needs that last belt. If his legacy is to mean anything, he needs that last belt. I'm going to tell you right now, he needs Crawford more than Crawford needs him. I'm gonna say that straight up. He needs Crawford more than Crawford needs him. But this is all politics. This is all behind the scenes. This is all the promoters. And God damn it, the promoters don't need to have that much power. You know? I wish the boxers had more power. I really did. But some of them are dumb as dirt, and they wouldn't be able to take care of their finances. And I understand this. Getting punched in the face for a living is detrimental to keeping them brain cells going. My thing here, my thing here is, um, who can defend Errol Spence right now? Who can defend Errol Spence? I want someone to come up here to defend Errol Spence's behavior or his team's behavior, his team's lack of faith in his ability. Bonquiqui, what's he? Bonquiqui, the bane of my existence. What is he saying? How important is a Boots fight for either Spence or Crawford? Boots is coming up. Boots is coming up on Boots is for the future, right? Right now, and really we can't talk too much about Boots because his performance on his last fight. Whoo, yeah. I mean, he obviously won that fight. Do not get me wrong. Do not get it twisted. Um, Boots won that fight, hands down. But he didn't look good doing it. I mean, Karen gave him a run for his money. That was some of the best footwork I've seen a white man ever do. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to break it down to black and white, but that's the best footwork I have seen in a while. And to those of you that don't believe that's talent, what he has there, what Karen had, that was pure, unmitigated talent. That was footwork. Now you put that type of footwork on somebody that had faith in his power and came in for the kill. Oh my God, you'd have a fucking monster in your hands. Von Quiqui says, Genghis EJ, hopefully we get you to 30K subs by the end of the month. Ah man, I just want to get to 1,000, man. I just want to get to 1,000. Help me get to 1,000. Spread the word. Let them know what kind of person you guys think I am. But yeah. Um I just want to be known as someone that's going to give you their honest, straightforward opinion with no bullshit. And I really do think there's no excuse for this behavior, man. There's no excuse. And I really do believe Errol Spence wants to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. I really do believe he wants this fight to happen. But I know for 100% sure it's his team that's stopping him. I'm serious. And he won't go against them. And that's sad. It really is.
In the red corner, Leonard B. Davis. In the red
Sorry. I had to throw that in there. Because, yeah, just because. It was a duck, man. It is a duck. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it swims like a duck, this is a fucking duck. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Richard Sampson, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, sir. Richard, I've seen you. I've seen you over in Jedi's cast and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and give you. Where is it at? There you go, buddy. You now got mod in this room, so no one can kick you out or anything like that. I appreciate that. I really do. But I mean, listen, if somebody comes up here to defend, if someone wants to come up here and defend Spence, I got no problem with that. Just one major rule: respect the stream. Don't talk over me or over anyone else that decides to come up here and discuss this whole situation. All right. Everyone gets their say. Everyone gets their chance to talk. All right. And I'm going to say this with the utmost passion. All right. If you are not the right complexion, please do not drop any N bombs. Got it? I don't use it. Anyone my complexion or lighter shouldn't be using it. Just saying. It's just I consider it a lack of respect. To throw that word around. So please, none of that. But if you seriously can defend Spence as erudite as possible and talk calmly, not get all into your feelings, not turn into one of these Earl sexuals, because not all Earl Spence fans are fucking off the deep end, fucking like religious fans. I know y'all are not. A lot of you are not that way. You got those select few. But I really do want to hear. I want to hear the perspective from a fan. How can you excuse this type of behavior? How can you say Earl Spence and his team is not ducking? Richard Sansom says, I don't use the N word as well. Yeah. And listen, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I refuse to use it. The first time my wife heard me use it, we had already got married. So you could see the look on her face like, oh God, what did I get into? But I used to throw the word around all the time. Being Puerto Rican and Dominican, I felt like I got a pass. But you know what? No passes. I'd rather the word not be used at all. But if you don't got the right complexion, you shouldn't use the word. At least show my channel that respect. Okay. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that very much. I really do. Wait a minute. I just saw this. Bonquiqui. Stop it. God damn you, man. No, you can say Nonito all day, man. Nonito's one of my favorite. Look, I'm a Nonito fucking fanboy. I really am. Uh, the guy is amazing. I mean, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. We already know that. He has a Hall of Fame career. I mean, look at how active he is. At 40. He has a lovely wife, great kids. He's still out there just fucking punishing people. So yeah, Nonito, yeah, you could drop that in bomb anything, any day in my channel. You know, if you're talking good about Nonito Donaire, then you're more than welcome up here. But seriously, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I go to other channels and I see how much how passionate some of these Earl Spence fans are. I mean, to the point where they're yelling over people. They don't want no one getting a word in edgewise. No, they can't explain themselves. All they are is a bundle of emotions. It's like they lost their masculinity and all of a sudden became a woman up there. They're nothing but a ball of estrogen when they start talking about Errol Spence. You know, call what it is. Call it for what it is. Like I said, I don't think Errol Spence in particular is afraid of Terrence Bud Crawford, but I do think his team doesn't have any faith in his ability. Yeah, but you know what? People get it. You should see, Bonquiku. You should see some of the reactions when I blurt it out. And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes I blurt it out depending on where I'm at. But when I'm in the hood, man, I talk. That's my home. I come from the hood. I come from the South Bronx. But when I'm out here in New Mexico now, and I look like a Jed. I look like an inbred Jed from the Adirondack looking motherfucker. So I shouldn't be that word in their opinion. So I appreciate that, Richard. I really do, man. I really do. But I want to stay on this Spence. This whole Spence ducking. Does anyone disagree with the fact? I just noticed the poll. Someone up there. Let's see. We got 86% of the polls said yes, he's ducking, and 14% said no, he's not ducking. I want to talk to somebody from that 14%. Now, listen, you're not going to get shit from me. I truly want to hear your side. Honestly, I just want to hear it. I don't want. I'm not trying to fight with you, but I want to hear. I want to have a dialogue about this. So if you want to come up here and talk about it, I'm going to throw up the link right now because I can't understand how anyone can defend this, and try to come up with with Bud is ducking or Bud isn't being right in this whole thing. From what I understand and all the information I've been getting, Bud's been doing everything, short of signing his soul away, man. He's been doing everything short of signing his soul away. And I don't think it's fair. I think
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please get the fuck out of here, man.
that's how I feel. That I feel that's some unbelievable bullshit. But I threw the link out there. If you want to come up here and talk about it, yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be an Errol Spence fan. You can come up here and just talk with me and stuff like that. But I'm on a mission. I want to know how this can be defended. How someone can say that Errol Spence Jr. is not ducking, or his team is not ducking Terrence Bud Crawford. what's that? What you got going on here, Bunk Weekly? Rough rumors. That's the Spence. That's it. Maybe I should pull that picture down right now. Let me get that picture out of there. But the picture I'm going to put up there is no better, though. There you go. You know, this is what I got going up there. This is how I feel. This is the person that people are defending. This is the person that all right. This is the person that people are. What's the word? This is the hill some boxing fans will die on. If you understand what that means. This is the hill that some boxing fans will die on. Oh, 150 in the house. What's up, brother? 150. Big say so. How you doing, man? Yo, 150. I'd love to have you up here. Like, get someone else to talk with me about this. But listen, if we do get an Errol Spence fan up here that is gonna try to defend his, I don't want this to be people ganging up on him. That's not this. That's not what this is. I truly and genuinely want to hear how they can justify what's going on. Because, listen, he could do what he wants on his off time. As long as he's right and when he's in the ring, that's all fine and dandy. You know? But if it's going to affect your performance in the ring, you need to check yourself. And this guy has done so much shit that affects affects what could happen in the ring. Is this possibly what his team is worried about? Is this what it is? Is this the angle that people are gonna take with Errol Spence? I'd like to know. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the link out there again. 150, really? I want you up here, brother. Come up, man. I haven't talked to you in a minute, man. I mean, I've talked to you on other panels, but you haven't been up to my panel in a long time. But other things I want to talk about. How many people feel like something wasn't right in the state of Denmark when it came to the Gervonta Davis fight versus Hector Garcia? Because yo, that wasn't right, man. I'm sorry, that wasn't right. I had Hector up on points. When they said that he said he couldn't see, he saw, look, and I rewatched that part. That motherfucker, that round, he went to the corner on his own. Nobody held his hand. He wasn't guided to his corner. He walked to the corner. And I remember specifically him looking directly into the referee's eyes. So, what the fuck? I just think something ain't right there. And now we got all these Gervonta Davis nut huggers. Holy shit. They found that to be a flawless fight. What? But Bob Quicker says Mayweather shook hands with him and put a bunch of money in his purse. You know what? I'm trying not to say it, but man, again, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it swims like a duck, that shit's a duck. There's something not right with that Davis Garcia fight. Yeah. Something not right there, man. Something definitely amiss in the state of Denmark. You know, I'm looking forward to the fights this coming weekend. I'm gonna watch. EJ, did you name your duck? No. Actually, my duck's name is Tulip, but my duck died like 3 or 4 months ago. So all we got left are my videos and stuff like that. But I love that video with the arms and Brian Harkin did the voiceover, so I used it. I got it on my streamer and I save it there. But that's all I got left of my little duck. That was my buddy. Someone threw. Oh, look at. All right, here we go. Kal-El says someone pulled a Van Damme on him, like in Bloodsport, threw something in his eye. You know. Yeah, man, Carl, for sure, man. Welcome to the room, Carl. Welcome. I appreciate the comment. Welcome up here. Yeah, man, something was not right with that fight. You know, I'm trying not to say that the fix was in, but god damn, that did not look right. You know, we had two Matador in the house. What's up, my brother? Let me get this off of here. Give me a second. What's up, two Matador? How you doing, Senor? Where are all the Spence fans? I really do. But I don't want them thinking we're Spence fan headhunting. That's not it. I seriously want to know their perspective. But they need to be polite about it. They need to be they got to behave themselves. In this room, they got to behave themselves. I want to hear what they got to say. I need some sort of viable explanation on how this can be justified, and them still say that there's not something amiss with Earl Spence's team. Again, let me reiterate. I truly believe Errol Spence wants to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. I believe this with all my heart. I don't think these two fighters are afraid of each other, but I do believe it's the team behind them that is making this fight not happen. And I don't need to name the names. You know the names. Everybody fear the slumlord EJ. Come on, man. I swear. Hey, I gave him a space heater. Does that account for anything? Bon Qui, a space heater? $1 million worth of game. What's up? Welcome to the room. Please like, share, subscribe if you're here and you're hearing me for the first time. I had taken a long hiatus. I've had personal issues come up. I'm in the midst of trying to buy a house, and I do say trying because something's holding it up. I mean, we have the money. We're waiting on them. Anyway, um, so yeah, we're in the middle of a lot of stuff. We had two pets die. Our Chihuahua, Aichai, died. My duck died, and we're trying to get this house, and it's just so I had my hands full, and I couldn't really devote a lot of time to YouTube, or even if you look, even on my TikToks, I have not made a TikTok in fucking like 2 months. So yeah, but now I'm coming back, man. I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance. But I want some answers, man. I can't believe that even a casual fan can't see through this bullshit that's going on with the Errol Spence team. Not so much Errol Spence himself, that team. Al Heyman. You know? What the fuck is going on there? How are they going to justify him going out of his weight class, move up in weight, and have the other boxer move up in weight so he doesn't lose his titles if he loses the fight, and not fight Terrence Bud Crawford? Explain that one to me where it makes sense. Tell me that's not a duck and explain to me how it's not a duck. Because you know what that is? That's this. That's duck shit. That's what that is. Here's your answer. You get F. Miss Bitch, well then, if you're a fan, look, I promise you, I'm not gonna jump on your shit. I just want to know. Come up here and talk. If you're an Errol Spence fan, please come up here and talk and justify these actions. Tell me your side, or how a lot of Errol Spence fans, they know his pockets, they know his wallet, they know they're these managers. Please, here's the link. You're more than welcome. My computer's acting up. I'm not gonna. This is not a headhunting thing. I swear to God. This is not a head. I need some clarity on how this behavior can be explained away. Please, if you can explain it, explain away to me. Explain it to me like I was a 5-year-old. Seriously. Because I want to know how this can. I mean, I've been saying I don't think Errol Spence is afraid of Bud Crawford at all. All right, let me make sure you look in my eyes. I don't think he's afraid of Terrence Bud Crawford at all. I don't think this is a boxer issue as much as it is a management team issue. I'm sorry, but this seems like they have no faith in their product. Now, guys, you guys heard me say that all night, right? Not all night. I've only been on for 38 minutes. You guys have heard me say this. I don't think Errol Spence is afraid of Bud Crawford. I think his team has the issue. And why are you making excuses for it? And I want to talk with someone that's an Errol Spence fan that think that this is okay. So, Miss Bitch, if you think this is okay, please come up here. I threw this. I threw the link out there. You're more than welcome to come up here. This is not a headhunting thing. I'm not going to sit here and try to insult you or talk over you. I'm going to give you your time, but I expect the same respect back. It's that simple. Strap season turned out to be crap season. Well, you know what, Keith has a chance of winning. I mean, and it's better than a boxer's chance of winning. Let's not fuck this all up. All right. Once upon a time, not too long ago, everybody was gunning for Keith Thurman. That was Terrence Bud Crawford. That was Errol Spence Jr. Everybody was gunning for Keith Thurman. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. Keith's got a better than average chance of beating Errol Spence. I don't think he can do it, but he has a chance. A better than average chance. So I'm not gonna sit here and downplay Keith Thurman's achievements. But why is Errol Spence Jr. going up a division, and why is Keith Thurman going up and wait to fight Errol Spence. Why? Our GM in the house. What's up? How you doing, my brother from another mother? Red Glove Militant in the house. I do not want you to be afraid of coming up here and talking with me about your true feelings on the whole Errol Spence situation. I just want to hear someone educated enough to explain this shit. You know? And I'm gonna tell you right now, most of y'all motherfuckers are more educated than me. I'm about dumbass as they come. I'm doing better. RGM, I'm doing better. Yeah. And you're wondering what RGM is talking about. Okay. So it's funny, but it's not funny. I had some chest pains the other day. All right. I had some chest pains, and it kind of scared me, because I'm 57 years old. Chest pains at 57, no bueno, you know. And so I had these really nasty chest pains, and it was hard for me to breathe. And yeah, so it was no bueno. I ended up having to see the doctor, but they told me it was gas. So apparently the fart couldn't find its way out my ass. It went up into my chest and had to fuck with my chest. I had a big old fart stuck in my chest. so that's what happened. So that's what happened with me. But I gotta admit though, I was a little nervous, man. I was more than just a little bit nervous. So, but RGM, you wanna come up here and talk about this? Maybe you can come up with an excuse. You wanna play devil's advocate? Huh? RGM, you wanna play devil's advocate? See what kind of shall we? I don't want to call them excuses because then that sounds like I'm being askewed, in which I am. I am of the opinion that Terrence Bud Crawford had put all his cards on the table and wants to fight. And I believe that Errol Spence Jr. wants to fight too. But Al Heyman and that management team don't want that shit to happen. Oh no, not actually. I'd be stirring the shit. Yeah, I feel you, man. I really do. I feel you. I mean, I can't see. I mean, I tried. You heard me the other day in Jedi's cast. I tried to justify it, and I just couldn't. And usually, I'm very level headed about this, you know. But you can't have the same energy that you had for Canelo. Have that same energy with Errol Spence Jr. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know why? Because Canelo cleaned house. There were no belts at 168 floating around. Can't say that. Can't say that with Earl Spence's division, can we? There's a rather significant belt out there, just like a big old eyesore. Did he not see it? Did that torn retina? Maybe that's it. The torn retina. That's got to be it. He can't see. He can't see it because of the torn retina. Is that it? I told you I won't speak over you. But you got to be respectful, and you can't just take up all the time. You're more than welcome to come up here. I want to hear it. This is not a smoke thing. I don't. First of all, I don't like the smoke because I am not quick witted. You can ask any of these guys. I'm not quick witted enough to be like, going tit for tat and like insults. That's not it. I really want to hear what you got to say. And you'll get your chance to talk. You'll talk. I want to hear. I really do want to hear it. But you got to be respectful. And if you're the wrong skin tone, don't drop no N bombs. No N bombs. If you look, I'll just say, look, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. If you are lighter than me, no N bombs. I don't even use it. So just no N bombs. I don't care if you're Puerto Rican and Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I don't care if you're Puerto Rican. I don't care if you're Dominican. I don't care if you're Cuban. If you're my skin color or lighter, no N bombs. That's the only rules I got. All right. See, I don't get it. Promise on, bitch, you won't talk over when I'm speaking. I told you I won't. Ask anybody here what I'm like. I Please tell me I didn't chase anyone. I want them to come up here and talk. I want a dialogue with somebody that's gonna explain this to me. Talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't care. Just explain it to me. Where I understand where this is okay. Fucking Red Cliff. What the hell, man? But in the meantime, I'm just gonna explain. I'm gonna say how I feel. And how I feel right now is I have to retract I have to retract all the negative shit I said about Terrence Bud Crawford. And I really didn't say a lot of stuff. I just got fed up with both of them because I felt they both could have made the fight happen. And I'm sorry, but Bud bent over backwards, gave them everything. Everything that they wanted. A cut and pay. Yeah, fucking the only thing is that he wants, you know, he wants to know what's going on. He wants to see all the paperwork. Why is that a big deal? What's wrong? If your paperwork's set straight, why is it such a big deal? He's willing to take less money. He said it. He confirmed it. I know you don't, RGM. I know you don't. You're making jokes at my expense, damn it. I'm sorry, I can't. No, and I'm not sorry. I'm gonna stop saying I'm sorry, but no, no. Errol Spence Jr. His team is ruining this guy's career. I'm gonna say that straight up. Ruining his career by not putting him in the ring with the man that everybody wants him to fight. With the man that did everything that they asked him to do. Go get a strap. He got a strap. You know? So what's the problem? I'm really shocked no one wants to come up here and talk with me. I don't got bad breath. I promise you, I took some mints. I'll even take a mint now. Look, I take a lifesaver right now. I promise you, I don't got bad breath. Yeah, I promise. Look, no bad breath. Here's a lifesaver. Y'all need to get up here and chat with me. Ah, lifesaver. Took. It is bullshit, man. It's complete, utter, unbelievable bullshit. Yeah, you better put those laugh emojis. That's a fucking funny one right there. Exactly. Case in point, look at that right there. My thing is, what was it? What was it that what was it that Earl Spence said after the Ugas fight? I'm coming after who? Hey Paula, what's up? How you doing? Welcome, Impala. Hold on a second. All right. Robert Real asked, yeah, do you think Tank and Ryan actually gonna happen? Uh Maybe. It could happen. It could happen, but I do think that there will be a lot of controversy on that fight. I guarantee it. There will be a lot of controversy on that fight because I don't think that you can pay Ryan Garcia enough money to take a dive. The way he feels about his social media, no, I don't think. I don't think that's an option. So you guys know where I'm coming from, RGM. You know what I mean by that, right? I told you, Banquiqui. I give space heaters. That means the heat, the electricity has to be on. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Supposedly in April. Well, I don't know, but I do think that I do think that there's going to be a lot of controversy behind that fight if that fight happens. I think the fight would be good for boxing. Honestly, I think that fight would be good for boxing. And then again, we'll be posing a question as to is is Ryan Garcia, with all his flaws, keeping his head up straight, coming forward, just looking like a pinata ready to be knocked out and all the candy loose from his brain, or is that check hook gonna be the savior of and the redemption arc of his story? Alpha Real says, I think it can happen, but you know how boxing is. LOL. When it's too good to be true, then it don't happen. You're right. God damn, you're right there. But as it is right now, until you explain to me, and I'm keeping on it, until you explain to me how you can justify Errol Spence Jr. moving up in weight to fight outside of his division when he has uneaten food on the plate at the table. He's got a home cooked meal at the table and he ain't eating. He's going to Allsup's to get a burrito. That's what he's doing. Instead of eating that home cooked meal that's in front of him, he refuses to eat the vegetables and finish his meal, and he wants to go get an Allsup's burrito. God damn, I couldn't have said that better. Woo! Oh, and Paula, you hit the nail on the head there. You hit the nail on the head. 2 drama queens. You goddamn right. One has a guy liner fucking company, and the other one looks like a Cabbage Patch doll. You guys figure it out. If you hear people talking in the background, don't mind me. That's my roommates, and that's my roommate and her daughter. They're talking about boobs. So I apologize if you hear them. But right now, I'm not really worried about it. You know, we got a lot of good fights coming up. But the thing that I am worried about is that there are certain judges, and you guys know because I've made mention on the judges. There are certain judges that have been utilized and are predominant in major boxing events lately, and their scorecards have always been controversial. She can't. I mean, they can't help themselves but not see the same fight that every other person that watched the fight saw. So I have a problem with judges like that judging the big fights. Is it is it true Boots is a redneck? I don't know, man. I think I look like more of a redneck than he does, don't you think? That's too funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, 81% is seen as a duck. See that? I put that poll up an hour and 16. I got 16 votes, and I put that poll up an hour ago. But all right, let's move on to. All right, let's move on to Boots Innes. Boots Innes. Ennis. However the fuck you want to say it. Let's talk about Boots. Um, Boots did not know that he was fighting somebody with some skills. He lectured Jedneck. Boots did not know he was going to be fighting somebody with some skills, with some true footwork. In fact, if anything, he should make sure he watches that fight over and over again and get some advice. He should have that guy in his corner, honestly, because I'm going to watch that fighter from now on. I'd like to see who Karen fights next, because I was thoroughly impressed with their footwork, and not to mention, he was not afraid to mix it up. In the last 2 rounds, if you remember, they were both in the phone booth. They were in the phone booth mixing it up. And I'm not ashamed to say it, man, but Boots didn't look too good. He looked like he was out of his element there. Am I the only one that sees that? I tell you right now, Boots is not ready for a belt shot. Not yet. Not fighting the way he did. No. But he's 30-0. So what is that telling you? That is telling you. That is telling you that they are too worried about their O than they are about the skill of the fighter. Tank fight had Hector winning 1 round and all 3 on all. Yes, that's not what I saw. That is not what I saw. That's not what the people that were in the stream that I was in saw. No, not at all. So again, hmm, that's like the whole that same shit with the Mukabu Machunu fight. That was a fucking robbery, man. Holy shit. You know? Hey, Sarge, you know I'm doing a stream right now, right? Do you not have a nightmare while I'm talking? Thanks. Yeah, Red Gem. Oh, as in Monk Weekly says. Mayweather had his hand on the fight, no doubt. Yeah. I know that there was a which fight was it? There was one fight where there was a referee. Was it? Hold on a second. What fight was it? I was it the Ellis fight? Was it the Ellis fight that the referee like did some fucked up shit, not doing 8 count for a knockdown? Was that? I think it was that. I think it was the Ellis fight. I'm not pulling out my notebooks right now. I'm notebook free right now. I just want to talk off the top of my head. Mayweather bringing in Japanese referees. Ooh, what's this? What's this to matter? The local dog catcher got a tale to tell his grandkids. He went with Papa Brown Bootiness. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh wait, no, it was the doo doo. I mean the boo boo fight. Yeah, that boo boo fight. Holy shit, what was up with that ref? That was I can't believe that they let that guy ref. You know who did look good though that night was Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee looked good. He needs to fight tougher opponents though. I'm not gonna lie. His team is protecting him too much. No lie. His team is protecting him too much. He needs to fight some tougher opponents. I'm not saying that his last fight was a crap opponent. He wasn't. I don't think his last fighter, the last guy he fought was. I don't think he was a Uber driver or anything like that. Um, he has some talent, but he really does need to step it up. Boosts and bullets. All right. Okay, listen. My whole point of coming up here tonight, I'm gonna end that poll. Let me stop the poll. Let's see. End the poll. What's the final judgment on this? Errol Spence is ducking. 81% yes. 18% no. So that's 16 votes. There were 16 votes. Please hit the like button, by the way, guys, if you can. 16 votes, and yeah, we got 81% to 18% saying that Errol Spence is ducking. Maybe he drives for the Uber Eats. My thing is, guys, I really did want to talk to somebody. And here's the thing I know where I can go, I know what channels I can go to, right? To talk to Errol Spence fans and listen to what they got to say. But then I wouldn't get a word in edgewise. You know, I already know that. I wouldn't get a word in edgewise. They'll be talking over me, and that's not what I'm going to do. That's not what I want to do. I want to sit down and I want to have an intelligent conversation with an Errol Spence Jr. fan, and I want to see how they can excuse all this happening. You know, but I can't go to the other channels that I hang out because it's too skewed. It's too skewed, and I'm not talking shit on the channel owners. It's just that's the way they run their channel. You know, I can't mess with it. I want to be able to get a word in edgewise, and I want the person that owns the channel to fucking, you know, act like he's fucking running the channel, not just fucking let shit go all awry and shit. No, thank you. RGM. Oh, there he is. Oh, what's up? What's up, RGM? How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Now, I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm not gonna advocate for the fight. I know you. I know you're looking to have a conversation with somebody who's gonna try to give you the, some valid reasons why this fight should be happening. Sorry, I'm not that guy.
Oh,
I'm
I
here to
know
shit.
that, man. I
I'm
tried.
here to shit on it.
I tried the other day. You were there. I tried, but I couldn't. You know,
Yeah,
I had two illegitimate points that were blown out, and I knew they were going to get blown out of the water. You know,
yeah,
it's just no. It made no fucking sense. You can't had the same energy that you had for Canelo with this. No, you can't do the same thing. There's food on the plate. He didn't finish his dinner, and he's going to all steps to go fucking get something to eat. What the fuck? Does that make
yeah.
any sense?
It don't make no sense. It's like I said, both these guys at different points in their career said they weren't going to fight the other guy. Talking about Thurman and first Thurman didn't want to fight Spence. Then after Thurman lost, Spence, and Spence had some belts. Then he didn't want to fight Thurman. Now all of a sudden, both these guys move up to fight each other, and it's for what? So that neither of them got to fight.
Yeah. I can't. You can't explain that one away. And yeah, and I've heard so many Earlsexuals just fucking. They get emotional, man. They're like, I swear to God, you could feel the tears. Their souls are fucking crying. You know,
Yeah. Well,
they're so
to
deep.
me, that's just. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, to me, that's just weird. Like, I never understood the whole, being so emotionally invested in another man that don't know who you are. I can understand if that's your uncle, or that's your brother, or your cousin, or whatever. A lot of these people, they've never met him in person, and they have such an emotional attachment. Like, don't get me wrong, I got my boxers that I like, but when they lose, I don't lose any sleep. I don't feel like I lost. It's like, all right, well, he lost. You gotta go back to the drawing board and hopefully figure this shit out. But they can't accept that.
No, they can't. They can't. Now, mind
I
you,
was,
I gotta say, I want to say about a year ago, I ran into some Bud Crawford fans out there that were almost, now mind you, I say this very clearly, that were almost as bad as as some of these Earl Spence fans, but they are based more in reality than the Earl Spence fan. I just have to admit it. You know, they were adamant, they were loud about their points, but they do let people get in on the conversation and talk about history. When you talk about what's going on, when you talk to when you get up on a panel and you're talking to like one or two people that are fucking straight up Earl Spence fans, you can't get a word in edgewise, and then the owner of the channel don't fucking do shit to stop that.
Yeah, because more than likely they agree with that. You know, it's just the name of the game. Like that's something that I've dealt with for the past, let's see, going on 7 years. Damn. 6 going on 7 years. Yeah, I know I started my channel in July. I don't know the exact date, but I know it was July of 2015. So it's been 6 years. This July will be 7, and it's always been that way. When you got like these extreme fans who, you know, like all they want to do is yell over you. All they want to do is insult you. You know, like the word racist gets thrown around so much,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and 90% of the time, the person's not racist. It's that they don't have a rebuttal against what that person has to say about a certain boxing situation. And it's like, well, you don't feel the way that I feel, therefore you must be racist. No, it's you don't have a legitimate argument against what I'm saying, and your only course of action is to assassinate my character.
exactly. And when you get
So
when you get into channels that won't do anything about that or possibly agree, you know, instead of politely agreeing to disagree, they're adamant about destroying your character. You know, the character of your family, your loved ones, everyone's on the table. Everyone's on the table
right,
if you disagree with their boxer. You know, you disagree with their opinion on boxing.
yeah, and it's all for what? Another man that don't even
It's
know
for
they
another
exist.
man that ain't even dicking you down. You know, I
Right.
can understand. I can understand if you were gay and you had some sort of fucking relationship, you get dicked down, but you're not even getting dicked down by this guy, and you're gonna like be passionate. That passionate? That's too much passion, man.
Yeah.
That's too much passion.
Yeah. It
You know
is.
what
I
they
agree.
you know what they call that kind of passion? That's the type of passion that's the kind of passion that's in prison. I don't know if you know what this means, where the top dog, yeah, you know, his bitches will have their hand in his pockets.
Yeah.
You know, walking around with his bitches with their hands in his pocket, just to let everybody know that yeah, this is my property. That's how they act, and they're not acting like the tough guy. They're acting like the bitches.
Right. You're
And,
absolutely
and they
right.
and they need to see that. Someone needs to fucking open their eyes to that shit.
Jed, we've tried. We've tried to open
Just
their
like
eyes to it, and you know they don't want to see it. They what it is that for them it's more than just boxing, and what they fail to realize is this era is not. It's nothing like when Muhammad Ali was boxing.
no.
You know, it's a completely different era. You know, we
Mhm.
as much as they want to believe that these guys are, what do you want to call them, political activists or civil rights activists, or they're not. They're simply not. It's we don't live in that time. You know what
No,
I'm saying? Like,
no.
are things perfect in that arena? No, but it's one of those things that it's just gonna get better with time. And from Ali's era to now, there's been great strides that have been made. Like it's basically about fine tuning when you're talking about that stuff. You know, the stuff that Ali was fighting for, the stuff that um Joe Lewis was fighting for. You know, like they're not. These guys are not fighting for that in
Mhm.
this. In this climate. It's they pretty much got everything that those guys fought for. It's just little
And the pedigree.
details.
And let's talk about the pedigree of the fighter. All right, Ali. You mentioned Ali. I wasn't too sure if it was the first or the second fight. Somebody corrected me and said it was the first fight. Ali was blind coming out of one of the rounds, All right, well, he couldn't see in front of him, but he still went out there to fight. You know,
Right.
he just made sure he kept his distance. You know, until he can get his vision back, and you can see in the fight where how that looks, and you can tell that something's wrong. But he went through it. Now let's fast forward to Davis Garcia. What
Oh,
the
with that.
fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Dude, something ain't right there. Something ain't right. But then you got those Gervonta Davis fans that are all gung ho, almost as bad, if not as bad, as the Errol Spence fans. You know, okay. They how is Gervonta Tank Davis the man at 135 when the man at 135 is Haney, who
Right.
has all the fucking belts, and Tank has a Reggie belt.
Yeah.
So how is Tank the man? But they'll die on that hill for Tank Davis. And
Yeah.
that being said, hold on, let me burst some Tank Davis fucking bubbles out here. You know what I'm gonna play, right?
What are you gonna play?
For me, we want to see you fight Lomachenko. We want to see you fight Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, motherfucking all the top who they say is the 4 horsemen, and they anywhere around your weight class. We want to see it happen. When we gonna see it happen?
I'm not sure. I don't.
That's
ain't got
the
nothing
best
to do
answer
with
you
it.
can
That
give.
was real shit.
That's some real shit.
I can't. I don't know. That's like.
How many times you don't went in there and said, "I want these niggas, man"?
To be honest, I ain't never said.
You ain't
I don't
never-
even.
Oh, I'm sorry. To be honest, I ain't never said it.
And you know what? let's talk about something real quick. You know, there's something about the 4 horsemen, right?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, and please excuse me because I was born in 85. So
was my
but
wife. But go ahead.
yeah, so but back in the 80s, you know, you had the Fabulous 4, you know, and you know what the difference is though? They fought each other.
Yeah.
You know, Hearns and Hagler and Leonard and Duran, they're famous. And why? Because they fought each other.
Those were the true 4 kings.
Exactly. Now, he brought up some good names in the, you know, he mentioned the 4 horsemen or whatever he wants to dub them. But it's hard to kind of really give them those same kind of accolades because they haven't fought each other, you know, and it's this attitude, and I'm not saying that it's all their faults, but this whole attitude of, well, to be honest, I don't even want to fight those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the right attitude. It's very different, and the reason why he can say that is because you got these fans who are in love with him for some strange reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that's not cool to say he's the man. Now, granted, Haney hasn't fought all these guys either, but he did what he had to do to get the belts. And I think if given the opportunity, he would fight all them guys.
Yes, he
But-
would. I believe that. How many
Yep.
times have you heard me say, RGM, I would love, because this kid has a lot of potential. I want to see him in those fights because I think he'll do good. But
But he can't make them. He can't force them to sign the contract. He
This
can want
is
to
all-
fight
this
them
is
all
all
he
that-
wants.
this is all about that politics, that fucking behind the scenes fucking promoter politics. and I fucking can't stand it. We won't cross the street. You know, we stay. We only fight in the house. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah,
If
that
there's
that is
belts,
bullshit.
if there's belts outside of your promotional company, your top priority should be to get those fucking belts. Am I wrong or am I
Yeah,
right?
you're right. Like if you want to be the man, that's why those belts exist. And now you got fans who are trying to redefine that by saying, "Oh, belts don't mean shit,"
Yeah,
and it's like
that was
I can't.
I couldn't believe I heard that. I heard that. Listen, and I'm gonna name drop this one because I'm not saying H Money feels that way. I'm just gonna say I heard that shit in H Money's channel. Belts don't matter, and it wasn't H Money that said it. We all know who said it, but that shit was said in his channel. Belts don't matter, and I like what? Are you fucking kidding me?
So what does matter? What their Instagram views? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you. That's how come I was saying that the fight between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. All right, that's going to that's fixing to be a mess because Ryan's so popular on Instagram. All right, and he makes his money online like that. All right, I don't think he's going to take a dive. All right, I think there's going to be a bit of pride there. Some shit's going to happen in that fight. I guarantee you. If that fight happens, some shit's going to happen in that fight. But I do, in my honest opinion, I have Tank slightly edging out Ryan. But you know why? Because Ryan has that head of his up there like a fucking pinata. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But if he catches Davis with that check, whoo, he's gonna have a very hard day. So,
yeah.
very
But
hard.
I don't think either of them put their name on the contract like he did.
No, there's
I mean, I
nothing.
doubt that they'll do it with each other, but I definitely don't think they'll fight him. Um,
I
they,
I personally don't think that Ryan should fight um, Davis. I think Ryan should fight Pitbull. I don't know what happened with that shit. I heard there was some drama there too. I don't know if it was Pitbull's fault or whatever, but that should be a thing. You know, where Ryan fights Pitbull, and the winner of that fight should fight, Davis. Although I don't know why we're going bending over backwards for Tank Davis when it's where it's fucking Haney that has the fucking belts. I swear to God, Tank Davis is treated like he's got all the belts.
yeah. I mean, this is just something that we see all the time.
Yeah.
It's something that we see all the time. I mean, Haney's fortunate that he got all the belts, that he's undisputed. But um, I mean,
Let me
there
ask
was
you
the
a question about that. Let me ask you a question. Did you have
yeah.
any doubt that Haney was going to win the belts off of Cambosis?
I mean, kind of. I didn't know what to expect because I honestly didn't expect him to be. I'm talking about Cambosos to be Lopez.
Right.
So when they made the fight the first time with him and Amy, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I'll keep it. I'll keep it real. Just because I wasn't expecting for Cambosos to beat Lopez, and
Right.
then after he beat him the first time, and the rematch was coming up, I knew he was going to beat him again. I didn't have any doubts. But
Mhm.
to be honest, just to answer your question, the first fight, I honestly didn't know what. Like I wasn't confident he was
Right. I on the other hand had absolutely no doubt. I made that abundantly clear in so many different channels, including my own. I had no doubt that Cambosis was a one hitter quitter. That was it. You know, I'm not saying
gonna be.
Cambosis is not a good boxer. He's a good boxer, all right, who had a great day on another boxer's bad day, and that shit happened. Case in point, Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? So, but in my opinion, Cambosis was nothing more than a one hitter quitter. He's going to be a good gatekeeper. He's still a good boxer. He's going to be able to, pull some names and be able to, make some noise. But I had no doubt Haney was going to win. Now, I don't like Haney, right? You've been known I'm not a Haney fan. But I am a Haney proponent. I'm a fan of what's right. And when Haney defended that fucking email belt that he got 4 times, why is anyone else fighting Cambosis for them belts other than Haney? He's got the food up there on the table. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was a proponent for Haney. But I need to see Haney beat somebody of substance. He needs to fight Loma. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He cannot fight Shakur for it. He needs to fight Loma. He either fights Loma or he fights Tank. Those are his only 2 options.
So Garcia's not an option for him.
No. Nope. Garcia is not an option. These the only 2 options are Gervonta Tank Davis or Vasily the Matrix Lomachenko.
Well, if I had it my way, they'd all be fighting each other.
They should. Yeah,
If I had my way, all of them would be fighting a minimum of 3 times a year, and they would have already fought each other by now. All of them.
because then you could
I'm
finally
talking
answer
about.
the question. Because we had back in 1985, we had Hagler versus Hearns. We had Hearns versus Sugar Ray. We had Sugar Ray versus Duran. Duran versus Hagler. Duran versus Hearns.
Hearns,
Hearns
right?
versus Sugar. We had these guys fighting each other. All of them. They fought each other, and these motherfuckers will not. And I'm going to tell you, it's only one reason, and it's the last name on the chat there, Floyd Money Mayweather, because Pretty Boy Floyd was okay in my book. Money Mayweather fucked shit up because you only have someone with that God gifted talent once in a lifetime. You only get to see something like that once in a lifetime. But because it happened and was attached to a person that is as manipulative, as self-centered, and as greedy as he is, I really feel that ruined boxing. I can't stand that saying, the saying I'm about to say, high risk, low reward. I can't stand that shit. Every fight should be high risk. Every fight. Or it's not a fight. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over you. I take up all the time, so please say something.
No, you weren't talking over me. But yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, it's okay to take a light touch here and there, but a majority of your fights shouldn't be light touches. And what happens is a lot of these guys, they have these these long layoffs, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I need a tune-up." And then what happens is they get their tune-up, and then they take another long layoff to the point where they gotta get another tune-up.
Yep.
Now, in his situation, he's actually been kind of active, so he doesn't have that problem right now. But he's still not fighting the guys that he should be fighting. You know, it's like all his fights are pretty much set up to be like a lamb to the slaughter, and he's the slaughterhouse.
Exactly.
So, and then his fans want to tell us, oh, well, he's the man at 135, and it's bullshit. You know, they want to tell us that the belts don't matter, and why they say that, it's not really that they believe that, it's that they are trying to control a narrative. I'll give you an example. Back when the whole thing with Wilder, you know, back when Wilder and AJ were undefeated, um, and they were trying to make that fight, and things kept on falling through. There were a lot of the Wilder fanatics. They try to say that the WBC belt was the only belt that mattered, and it just so happened that Deontay Wilder had only the WBC belt. So it's whatever fits the narrative at that point. So it's like, well, Tank doesn't have any of the, you know, the major belts at 135, but we want him to be the man, so we have to say that the belts don't matter. You know, it's whatever fits the narrative. I guarantee you that if he was undisputed, they would be saying that's the reason why he's the man at 135. But because he's not, and he doesn't have any of those belts, the belts don't matter. So we see this with fanatics all the time, and that's why, you mentioned like some of the aerosexuals. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who they are, because once I start hearing like the BS, I'll listen for a bit longer just to see how consistent it is, and if it turns out to be just consistent man fanning, I unsubscribe. So I know they're out there. I just don't really know who they are because I'm not subscribed to any of them.
I feel you, man. I mean, I go into rooms, but, you know, and I'll jump on panels, right? And depending on how the conversation is going, if I can't get a word in edgewise, I just end up leaving, because what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to go and have to yell over people to get my point across. You know, it's just not my bag. I don't feel that's the way you should run a channel. So that's not me.
Yeah.
But, you know, and if you believe in a lot of that stuff that the Eurosexuals believe in, and you play into that narrative, and you have a popular channel, that is detrimental to the boxing community. Just on GP, that's detrimental to the boxing community. You know, because then they get misguided and misinformation.
Yep, I agree. You know, I try to be as level headed as I possibly can. I try not to be biased, and the reality is this: if I like a boxer, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm talking on a situation that they're involved in, I'm gonna tell you. You know, anytime I made a video about, you know, the whole Wilder AJ situation, or the Bud Errol situation, or whoever, I let you know, hey, I am, you know, I am a fan of this boxer, and I try to keep it as straight and down the middle as I can.
Right.
But there is going to be somewhat of a bias there, you know. But I do try to take everything in account. I do that with every situation. If I don't have a dog in the fight, I just don't. I don't even mention it. I just talk about what I think. These guys can't do that. They They will tell you their opinion, but they will state it like it's a fact.
Exactly. See, like
I've literally,
no. Go
let me
ahead.
just give you one example, just real quick. I've literally seen somebody say Errol Spence will move up and knock out Canelo Alvarez. Facts.
Yeah.
I've literally seen it.
Yeah.
So and it's like, no, that's opinion. Now, if he does it, then it becomes a fact. But until he does it, it's an opinion.
I'm a big Frank Sanchez fan. You know this. A lot of people know. I mean, I like Frank Sanchez a lot. I do believe he's going to be heavyweight champion sooner or later. It's more sooner than later, but I believe he's going to be a champion. But I'm not going to sit here like I don't know if you remember me doing this, but when he fought, what was the chubby white guy's name? Chris Hammer. When he fought Chris Hammer, man, I didn't make no excuses for him. I said, man, Chris Hammer made him look bad because Chris he wouldn't come out of his shell. He didn't want to come out and fight because he knew what would happen. So fucking Sanchez did his best to try to get this guy to come out. And he did not look good doing it. And then, of course, you got your shit talkers that are going to say, oh, Frank Sanchez looked bad. I said, well, I'm not going to lie. It didn't look good for him, but that's really not his fault. But that's the bias in me. You understand? I can acknowledge that. That's my bias. A lot of fucking fans, a lot of them casual fans can't do that. These Eurosexuals can't do that. A lot of these Gervonta Tank Davis fucking fans can't do that. And it's kind of discerning, you know what I mean?
Yep, it is. And you gotta be able to look at your favorite fighter with critical thinking. Like when I first came on the scene, I was a huge Keith Thurman fan, not so much anymore. But I was in the beginning, and when he fought Luis Collazo, they did an interview with him afterwards. Like one of these YTDC channels was able to get into the locker room and interview him, and they asked him how he felt he did when he got hit by that body shot. I don't know if you've seen that fight, but that was like when he first got exposed to being
when he got pulled over from the body shot. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it was the very first time though, because up to that point he hadn't really been exposed in any way. But he fought Luis Collazo, and I was actually there at the fight. I actually went to that fight, and he said that they asked him if it hurt him. He was straight up lying through his teeth. He said no, it didn't hurt, and although we all saw different, and even me being the Keith Thurman fan that I was at the time, I said, you got to keep it honest. Like, you're saying it didn't hurt, but we saw you fold over and jump on your bicycle for the next 2 rounds. So just keep it honest. Like, you did what you had to do. You still won the fight. You still stopped Collazo. Don't lie about this shit, But I guess pride got the better of him, and he didn't want to admit that he got hurt. And he's been hurt to the body almost every fight since then.
Yeah, because people saw that and they gunned for it.
Exactly. So might as well keep it honest and protect that body.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
I remember getting hit so hard in the solar plexus, I thought my soul was leaving my body. Seriously, right in the middle, right in the middle, right in the breadbasket. I thought that for sure my soul was leaving my body. Yeah, you got to protect your midsection.
Yeah. I used to mess with people because they'll be like, "Oh, Keith Thurman don't like getting hit to the body." I was like, "So you do?" I don't know anybody who likes to get hit to the body, but the reality is he just can't handle it. Like, some of these guys, they know how to take a shot to the body, and he doesn't know how to. There's guys who don't know how to take a shot to the chin, and the reality is this: you just it doesn't mean that you're a bad fighter. What it means is you have to know how to protect it. You know, um, Hearns was actually a glass jaw. But um,
But Hearns had so much
um,
talent that he wouldn't let you get to his jaw, and he had
exactly,
incredible reach. So he took
exactly,
advantage of it. That's where knowledge and ring awareness comes in. You can have
exactly.
a fucked up glass jaw, but still have enough talent to keep them away from you. There's nothing
And
wrong
it
with that.
and it didn't hurt that he had Emmanuel Stewart in his
Yeah.
corner. That's the other thing. The trainer, it's the trainer's job to know these things and to know how to combat the shortcomings.
Right.
But with the fanatics, they think that these guys are superhuman. That and of course, if like in Tank's situation, of course, if every fight is a lamb to the slaughter kind of fight, yeah, he's gonna look like he's superhuman, like he's invincible. You know,
And that's the thing. I
it's
mean, his resume at 135 is atrocious. His resume at 130 is not. You know what I
but he
mean?
can't make 130 is the issue.
So, that's a lot of the argument. That's a lot of the argument too. And I got to keep that same energy with Terrence Bud Crawford. What you did at one weight doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to do at the next weight. But with him, he proved he could.
And and with him, he's also been trying to make those fights.
Yeah.
Whereas Tank Davis, he's not trying to make those fights at all. He's completely complacent with Ellerby defending him on why he shouldn't have to fight this guy or that guy or whatever. I can't stand Ellerby.
Let me do this. Let me do this for Brian Hart.
In the red corner, Leonard B. Davis.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but what's funnier is
Do you want to go to Dubai, baby?
Do
Do
do it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It seems like all I hope this is the right word to use. Alcoholism seems to be an epidemic with these boxers. A lot of them seem to not know when to put the bottle down.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not your problem. That's not my problem. Guess whose problem that is? That's their problem.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
That's gonna affect them adversely in the ring. That's the decisions that they make.
right?
This is why I have a lot more respect for Crawford, because Crawford lives that life.
Yeah,
You don't catch him going out there getting fucking drunk and partying, and he does what he's supposed to do, and he's constantly in shape. I don't think there's a day you catch him where he doesn't look right. Where he doesn't
right.
ready to buy.
Yeah, he looks like he's always in at 147.
Yeah, that motherfucker
Which,
looks like, oh, you want to fight today? Okay, let's go, and he'll fucking make weight.
yeah, which I'm pretty sure he goes over 147, but he don't let it go out of control as well.
I think he walks around, or I think he walks around 155, maybe 158 tops. I don't think he gets up to 150.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. And the thing is, when Floyd was active, he did the same thing. Whether you like him or not, you got to give it to the guy. He also wasn't getting in, you know.
Yeah, he lived that
I,
life.
yeah, I mean, you might catch him at a party, but he wasn't getting shit faced drunk.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't flipping his Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the
Detaching his
thing.
retina, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these fans, they used to praise Floyd a lot, and now you got Bud, who is no, I'm not saying that Bud is the same as Floyd. Um, Definitely popularity wise, he's not. But as far as like living the boxing lifestyle, I don't think you get much closer to Floyd than Crawford, to be honest.
I believe it.
So he,
I agree with that. I really do.
yeah, he has that the same work ethic that Floyd had. He has, you know. And I'm not saying other boxers don't have it, but I think he's the one who mirrors it the closest. And a lot of those same Floyd fans, a lot of those same Floyd fans, they despise Crawford for some
Yeah, I don't get that. I really don't get that. But it is what it is. Man, you don't know how much I want to. And you know me, man. You know I don't want to rip somebody apart. I legit wanted to hear somebody talk about what they feel is going on with fucking with Errol Spence. Nobody wanted to come up. There was one person in chat didn't want to come up. I guess they thought that I was gonna be like the other channels, and I'm not. But I really wish that I can get a conversation going with a true legit uh, Spence fan and hear what they got to say, but in an educated manner. You know what I mean? Is that possible? Do you think?
to get. There's one guy that I think he would, but he's not a sub of mine. He's a sub of my buddies, and he hasn't been going live that often. So, but if if I see him, I'll be like, hey, are you for? You know, I'll ask him if he's for the. And the thing is, he may not even be for this fight. Because he's also pretty level headed. You know, he's not just he's an Errol Spence fan, but he's not like a nut hugger.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't heard what he thinks on this. I just know he's a Spence fan. Like because he actually paid. He was pissed because he bought tickets for him and his fiance at the time. I think they're married now, but to go see the Spence Pacquiao fight.
Right.
And remember, Spence pulled out because of the retina thing,
Oh,
and he couldn't get a refund on the ticket. He's like, I want to see no Manny versus.
God,
He's a
yeah,
Spence fan.
I would have been pissed, man.
Yeah, so
It's
he
one,
still went to the fight and everything, but like I said, I haven't seen him. And that's because one, he doesn't have a channel of his own, but he does jump on panels. And my buddy,
I know for a gift I'm gonna give because Katie wants to see Lomachenko fight live. Um, whenever we get a Lomachenko fight, if it's in Texas or if it's in Nevada or if it's in Cali, I think I'm gonna take her to go see Lomachenko. She's been dying to see him live, and I think it'd be a good present for her. You know.
yeah, that's good. We don't really get a whole lot of boxing matches over here. Like the last one that we had, was fucking Jake Paul and Tyrone Tyrone Woodley too. And I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't about to go to that shit.
Yeah.
I
It
was
was a
pissed.
pretty knockout, though. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty knockout.
Oh yeah, but to me, it wasn't a real boxing match. Like, I was so pissed because I was like, okay, we had the last time we had a real boxing match here was before that was the Keith Thurman versus Luis Colanzo fight, and I'm like, okay, it took them like 5 years to finally get a boxing match back over here, and it's fucking Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley too. But yeah, it was a nice knockout. I'm not gonna take that away.
I mean, I've been on so many panels lately talking about, and people like get surprised that I say this, but we need the casuals. We need the casuals because the casuals eventually are going to turn into hardcore. They'll either leave or they'll turn into hardcore.
Yeah,
And those casuals that turned into hardcore, they'll start asking for the matches we're asking for. You know, they want questions answered. They want to know who is the fucking best. And the only way to find out who's the best is that if what? If these guys fight.
well, some of them become hardcore casual, where
Yeah.
they're casual in such a hardcore way that they defend the bullshit to to the death, or at least they lead you to believe that.
Yeah.
But some of
I,
the, and
I,
even at that, they end up leaving. I've seen that.
I've seen some casuals get hardcore and 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 get back into it. Like, man, when I first came back to boxing, man, you could call me a casual, you know, because it's like I needed to relearn all the names and who's up there, you know, because I've been away for 20 years, almost 20 years,
Yeah, I
and
remember you were taking notes when
yeah,
Mark would talk. You'd be like, "Mark, can you repeat that? I'm just trying to note everything down."
and the thing here is though, it didn't take me long to get all caught up, and I can have a conversation. But now I want to have that conversation, but I want to have a legit conversation, and it's not just the whole Errol Spence thing. I mean, I want to talk about boxing in general with people that aren't going to get so emotional about it. Now, some emotion is okay, but to the point where you're going to give yourself a fucking heart attack, something's
Yeah,
wrong. You know, something. That's how I was. I was a mega Mike Tyson fan, right? And when he lost to Buster Douglas, I was fucking livid, you know, and I was one of those proponents of that was a fucking long ass count. The first knockdown where he knocked down Buster Douglas.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
whereas
he was out, man. That fight was I was like all up and down in my feelings, man. Dude, you wouldn't know me. You wouldn't know that person to who I am now because I was all up in my feelings about that shit.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
hear you talk about how you didn't like white people at all,
yeah,
and now you're married to Katie.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean it. Yeah, it's good to know that
People
at least
grow.
you change certain things.
Yeah, people grow, people change,
Yeah,
people learn, and that's what I feel is a possibility happening with these casuals, and hopefully they turn into a more knowledgeable fight fan and start asking those real questions. Start asking the questions that I might have missed. You know who
yeah.
hates talking to me is Nonito Donaire's wife, Rachel Donaire. She hates talking to me. She don't hate me. Don't get me wrong, but I always have a shit ton of questions. You know, and it's just the way it is. She said, "You don't got your books today, do you?" But and don't get me wrong, I love her to death. I think she's cool people, and I'm a huge fan of Nonito Donaire. But I'll sit there and ask a real question. I won't fucking beat around the bush. But I wish more people would be that way instead of get all in their fucking feelings. It makes things so much harder to do a decent stream when people are like that. You know.
Yeah. It gets to be kind of crazy because some people, you know, I've s- I've seen people end their friendships over over a boxer. I've had some people who I wasn't interested in ending the friendship, but they didn't want nothing to do with me just because of my take on a certain situation having to do with the boxer that they like. It's like, it's disappointing to me because it's like I thought we were tighter than you know, and
Yeah,
yeah, but
tight to the point where you don't have your own opinion. That what the fuck,
exactly, and yeah, it's sad that people can't. It's like, all right, we've been friends for for however long it's been, right? This guy doesn't even know you exist just because my opinion is this, and it's not even that I dislike the boxer. It's just I think in this particular situation they're wrong. You're gonna end our friendship over that. To me, that's immature. It's extremely immature, and
Exactly.
that's what you have in this community is a lot of immaturity. Like if you're a fan of Errol Spence, I don't automatically think of you as an enemy. Now you want to go and talk about my mama, you want to go ahead and talk about my loved ones, then that's what's gonna make you my enemy. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
god.
But
You know who's the worst nightmare? And I'm gonna call that name out. I don't give a fuck. It's Ben Israel. Holy shit.
oh
That
yeah,
guy is
he's.
a nightmare to have on a fucking stream. You know?
I know exactly who you're talking about. He's a huge Errol Spence
Yeah, and see I wouldn't mind letting him up here to talk, but there are rules, and I know that he'll break the rules blatantly, and then blame me for it.
fan. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I've been on panels with him before. He just like it doesn't matter how much logic you bring to him, he's always right in his mind. Doesn't
According
matter
to
how
okay,
ridiculous.
according to him, I'm a fucking drunk, an alcoholic. Yeah, once upon a time, maybe. He said, "You don't know me now, do you?" Okay. Because I
That's
drink
the thing I don't like
freely.
is when people don't even know. They don't know you, but just because you disagree on something having to do with boxing, they want to, all of a sudden they know. All of a sudden, they're your psychologist, they're your MD, and they're your um,
Oh yeah.
and apparently they're also your ex's lawyer. Apparently, they were there for you know, for your divorce proceedings. They it's like, and then it's funny because like I've had some try to say, "Oh, you just mad because I fucked your sister." It's like I don't have a sister, but I got a brother. You tell me you fucked him. That's the funny thing is when they don't know you and then they just start talking some crazy ass shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
And
like
all over a boxer that don't even know them or know that they exist. All they want from you,
exactly.
all they want from you is your money. They want to separate you from your money to put in their account. That's all they want to do with you.
Yep, yep. It's like that man pays a promoter to do what you're doing, right? Your dumbass is doing it for free.
Exactly. For
you
free.
need to you need to hit up Errol Spence and start asking for a paycheck. All this work you're
He
putting in.
really does, man. Because I mean, ain't no promoter gonna be as vested in him as I'm telling you right now. If Ben Israel was Errol Spence's promoter, that fight would have happened. I guarantee you, if Ben Israel was Errol Spence Jr.'s fucking promoter, that fight would have fucking happened because
Yeah,
he has nothing but faith in it. I mean, Errol Spence can do no wrong. Walk on water, Earl. It's like,
You know what's funny is if Earl would have actually meet him in real life, he'd probably look at him like he's crazy.
exactly.
Probably try to brush him off, be like, "Get me away from this crazy." You know, it's, but it, you're right. Like you got these fans, and we're just using Errol's. Just to be clear, if
Yeah,
anybody
we're
hears
just
this on the
using Errol
playback,
Spence fans as example.
exactly, because this happens with other boxers too. But I use
Yeah,
Errol
you
Spence
got
as
your
a
act out there. You know, the fucking, what did I call them? The I call them the craw dogs. The Crawford, I call them craw dogs.
crowd up.
So, you know,
Well, well, get this. When he first flipped this Ferrari, everybody knows he was drunk when he did it. He had been drinking. He had been drinking that night. He was driving like 90 miles an hour. He's lucky he's still alive today, right?
right,
But I want to say it was like a month, 2 months after the incident. It was probably 2 months because he was kind of messed up there for a little bit. But there was a video of him drinking in the club, and me and some of the people that I rock with in the boxing, in the boxing community, we was talking about how he needs to, he don't know how to control himself. I hate to tell a grown ass person that they shouldn't be drinking, but some people need to be told that, you shouldn't be drinking. And unfortunately, Errol Spence is one of them. And he had fans saying, "Oh, he's just celebrating that he survived the car crash." It's like, yeah, by doing the same thing that got him into that predicament in the first place. It's like I honestly think that, well, one, if you're a boxer, it's probably not a good idea to be drinking alcohol anyways, just because of what alcohol does to your body. And you're in your profession as a boxer, your body needs to be finely tuned.
right,
But it is what it is. You're gonna drink, you're gonna drink. But do it responsibly. Like, and if you can't find it in yourself to drink responsibly, then don't drink at all. It's like I said, I don't like telling grown people that they shouldn't drink because I drink from time to time. I don't drink all the time. At this point, it's probably been about 6 months since the last time I had any alcohol. But
right,
when the opportunity presents itself to drink socially, I do. Um, Part of it is because I broke my leg. I haven't been able
right,
to go
yeah,
out that much. But um, I when I do it, if I have a couple rules. When I'm out in public, I only have two, maybe three, depending on how strong the drink is. Um, if I drink any more than that, it's because there's already arrangements for me to stay wherever it is that I'm at, or I have arrangements to be taken home by somebody else.
exactly, and and this is one thing I don't understand about EJ is this: how does he not have someone that would take care of him that way?
Exactly.
How does he not have? Does he not understand how much money he has? How much if he hit somebody and killed somebody, God forbid that happen, all that money that he just had will go to somebody else that didn't throw a punch their whole fucking life.
Right. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like he would have at that point you did all that work for nothing. Somebody else is gonna, for lack of a better term, reap the benefits.
Exactly.
I say lack of a better term because um, you know, they would have either lost a loved one or they themselves been involved in an accident, got injured. So that's why I say lack of a better term. Because trust me, if you love somebody enough, no amount of money, you'll take that person over any amount of money any day
Yeah.
of the week. You know. But so that's why I say, for lack of a better term, somebody else will reap the benefits of all the work that you've done. And if by some miracle you're able to keep boxing from that point on, you're probably still going to be working for that person. You know,
Exactly.
it's just
Exactly. I mean, just on that, man, nah, man. He should be having. There's no reason why, number one, he's driving like that. At the very least, he should be having someone permanently around him that if he gets drunk, they will drive him. Fine. If you want to drink, fine. At least make sure someone else is driving. And if you don't want to fuck up the Ferrari or whatever the fuck he had, Countach, whatever, then you better go out in the Benz and, have
well,
someone
what
drive
you
that
do
shit for
is,
you.
you mean to tell me the guy couldn't get an Uber? You know, like
Yeah.
he can't afford an Uber. And even if something happens and your car gets towed, let's say his car got towed, it's worth it for you to pay the $200, $300 to get it from the impound lot. It's a fucking Ferrari, and you got the money. You know, trust me, that's gonna be way less money than if you kill somebody and you go to court, because that's gonna cost you way more in fees and whatever you're gonna end up having to pay those people and very possibly not ever box again.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth it to take the Uber, even at the expense of possibly, if you leave your Ferrari there, it gets towed.
Yeah. But all this is like, but the reason why this was brought up is like you're gonna defend that. You're gonna die on that hill for this guy that doesn't care about you. You're going on that hill.
Right. Yeah, because if it was your kids out on the street and God forbid something happened to them because he was driving drunk, I'm sure you are not going to have the same attitude toward that situation.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things, like, he's at the end of the day, he's a man. Okay, he's not invincible. He's not infallible. If he does something that is messed up, you shouldn't defend that shit just because you like the way that he boxes.
Yeah. Exactly. He's just a man. He bleeds red like you and me. He has flaws like you and me. You just don't want to look at him. And you got these sports. You know, you got these sports figures that you put them up on these pedestals. You know, and you forget that's a human being. You forget it, and having forget that person is another human being. You invest so much of your time, so much of your effort into defending someone like that. That absolutely gives two shits about you or yours. Anyway, so it's going. I'm at the 2 hour 9 minute mark. I'm gonna call it quits. I really did want somebody to come up. I know you weren't gonna do it, RGM. If anything, you want to crucify whoever does come up.
If somebody would have jumped on, I probably would have. Um, I probably just would have muted, um, and let you have carry on the conversation. Either that or jumped off and jumped back on when you were done. Because I also don't want to be in a situation where it's like we're ganging up on somebody. You know, uh, that way you could have your little dialogue. But the problem with what you wanted is that those people will never jump on your panel.
Yeah.
Most of them. I
No, they
shouldn't
won't
say
jump.
none of them.
They won't jump on a panel where there's control.
Exactly.
They will not jump on a panel where there is control. Like, I remember. I love the hell out of rolling with the punches. I really do. But you know how sometimes, he can get sometimes, right? And he came up here one time, and I had to mute him a couple of times. And he thought he took it personal. I said, no, man, everyone gets a chance to talk. You can't constantly talk over people. You can't just like express your opinion and not let other people express theirs.
Right.
And he wasn't used to that type of control. I said, no, this is not Free Smoke Friday. This is a different channel. This is you're gonna act like a fucking adult. And him and I are still good. We're still friends. It's just that it kind of surprised him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. Like rolling with the punches, he's a cool dude. I don't
He
have no
is.
problem with him. But I know what you mean. Sometimes he forgets that other people are talking to. And he does tend to talk over people. And Roland, if you come across this, it's nothing against you. And trust me, you ain't the only one who does it. There's a lot of people who do it, and you just kind of have to put those people in check. I've seen Mr. Doc do it too. There's a lot of people who do it. I
Oh
consciously
yeah. Yeah, I was just using that as an example. I mean,
right.
we're good. But
I consciously try to let people get theirs off, and then when it's my turn, I'm gonna get mine off.
exactly.
You know.
All right, guys.
But
Well, I want to tell the chat thank you for hanging out with me for the whole 2 hours and 12 minutes, and RGM, our platform for the president and vice president coming up in 20.
yeah, the what I call the Chonka party.
Party.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like button. And
Thanks for coming up here, RGM, man. It meant a lot. I
oh,
appreciate that, man.
thanks for having me.
All right,
Appreciate it.
everybody, God bless. Good night. I'll talk to you next time. I tell you, I'm coming back with a vengeance. I'll see you again soon.